Welcome, everyone. Today we are tackling one of the most critical challenges in building robust AI applications, moving beyond raw text to properly structure your LLM responses. Let's get started. When you start building real-world AI applications, you quickly realize a fundamental problem. Large language models are designed to talk. They output raw text. But your application's backend, your database, or your front-end UI cannot easily work with a conversational paragraph. They need structured data. They need variables, arrays, and objects. Output parsers are the bridge between the conversational AI and your deterministic code. They take that raw text output and convert it into a structured, predictable format. This ensures your software doesn't break when an LLM decides to add "here is your answer" before delivering the actual data. Let's look at this simple flow. A user submits a query to the LLM, which naturally returns a raw string. Instead of parsing this manually with fragile regular expressions, we pass that raw string through a dedicated output parser. The parser acts as a reliable filter, transforming the string into structured data like JSON or native programming objects that your application can safely consume. So, how exactly does an output parser work? It actually serves two distinct functions. First, it helps before the LLM even answers by providing format instructions. These instructions are injected into your prompt to tell the LLM exactly how it should structure its response. Second, once the LLM replies, the parser validates and extracts the data. If the model generates extraneous text, the parser strips it away. The most amazing part, some advanced parsers have self-correction mechanisms. If the LLM produces invalid data, the parser can automatically send it back, point out the formatting error, and ask the LLM to fix it. Here is the sequence of events. Notice how the app first asks the parser for format instructions. It embeds these instructions into the prompt sent to the LLM. When the LLM replies with a raw string, the app hands that string back to the parser. The parser does the heavy lifting, stripping away noise, validating the format, and handing the app a clean, structured object. Now let's dive into specific formats, starting with the undisputed king of web data, JSON. If you want to send AI-generated data to a front-end dashboard or save it in a NoSQL database, JSON is what you need. In LangChain, we use the JSON output parser. When we use this parser, we define a schema. Behind the scenes, LangChain converts our schema into a formal JSON schema object. This schema is seamlessly sent to the LLM, creating strict boundaries around what the model is allowed to output. The result is a perfect JSON payload ready for your downstream code. In this diagram, you see the JSON output parser in action. It takes the LLM's response and immediately validates it against the predefined schema. If it perfectly matches, you get a clean JSON dictionary. If the LLM hallucinates extra fields or breaks the JSON syntax, it throws an error. We will talk about how to recover from those errors in just a bit. To make JSON parsing completely bulletproof, we leverage Pydantic. Pydantic is an industry-standard Python library for data validation. Instead of writing raw JSON schemas, we define Python classes that inherit from base model. Inside this class, we define our data fields using explicit types, like integers for ratings or strings for names. We also use Pydantic's field descriptions to tell the LLM exactly what goes into that variable. By passing this Pydantic model into methods like dot with structured output, we force the LLM to conform to our exact object structure, guaranteeing our application receives native, type-safe Python objects. This simple class diagram represents how we use Pydantic. We create a class like user profile that extends base model. Inside, we enforce types. Name is a string, age is an integer. These type constraints are translated to the LLM, leaving absolutely no room for the model to guess what data types we require. What happens when your output doesn't need to be a complex JSON object, but rather a strict multiple-choice decision? For example, your workflow might need the LLM to decide if an email is positive, negative, or neutral. If it replies mostly positive, your code will break. This is where the enum output parser shines. You define a Python enum with your exact allowed values. The parser guarantees that the string returned by the LLM is mapped directly to your enum instance. This gives you absolute certainty when writing conditional logic or branching workflows, as you are comparing strict enumerated types rather than unpredictable strings. Imagine an LLM acting as a job screener. It outputs the string yes. The enum output parser intercepts this, converting the text into an actual Python enum object is suitable job enum.yes. Your workflow router safely checks this enum condition and proceeds to the next stage flawlessly. Let's put this into a real-time use case. Imagine you are building a data pipeline to analyze thousands of unstructured customer reviews. You need to extract specific metrics for a database. You create a Pydantic class called product review with strict fields, a string for the product name, an integer for the rating out of 5, and strings for the pros and cons. You pass this class into a JSON output parser. When the raw text of a customer rambling about a smartphone goes into the LLM, the output parser ensures you get a perfectly clean, structured object back. You can immediately save this object directly into your SQL or NoSQL database without writing a single line of string manipulation code. The power of this use case is visualized here. The raw, messy review text is ingested by the LLM. Combined with our Pydantic schema via the JSON output parser, the chaos becomes order. The perfectly typed data flows seamlessly into the database, powering your business analytics dashboard in real time. We must acknowledge a reality. LLMs are probabilistic engines. Sometimes, despite our best Pydantic schemas and format instructions, they will generate invalid JSON. If your application crashes when this happens, it's not production ready. Enter the retry with error output parser. When standard parsing fails, this brilliant component catches the error. It then takes the original prompt, the broken output, and the exact Python parsing error and sends them all back to the LLM. It essentially says, "Hey, you made a syntax error on line 4, please fix it." The LLM corrects its own mistake, and your application continues running smoothly. That wraps up our deep dive into output parsers. I invite you to like, subscribe, and visit quicktechie.com for premium certification prep, including Q&A banks, full ebooks, audiobooks, full-length training, and interview guides. This final diagram represents the ultimate safety net. If the parser detects an invalid format, it triggers the retry loop. The LLM acts as its own debugger, fixing the JSON syntax based on the error message and submitting it back for a successful parse. Thank you for watching.
Welcome to quicktechie.com. So just type in quicktechie.com here. Then you can go through the material which is provided by quicktechie. So we have first of all video courses which you can go here and you can find the various video courses across the technologies as well as finance domain. So if you see in Microsoft, we have 8 programs currently running. Next, you can go through the ebooks available. So all the ebooks which are in PDF format today, and you can download this. So let me go through Microsoft certification ebooks. You can click on any of this and you can see this is the PDF available for you to download. So these are the premium ebook mostly available on quicktechie.com platform only. Now the second part is exam simulator. As we primarily focus on the all technology companies and finance domain certification preparation material. So this is company wide listed here and you can go through this. So let me go through the Microsoft one again. You can see this is all Microsoft related certification. AB 730 exam, if you open it, so you can see here this and all the practice papers are available here. Today we have a 5 practice paper. So click on the first practice paper. It would load the questions. You can answer this question. This is way you can answer it and you can move to the next question. Now third material we wanted to highlight is an audiobook. So we started recently with the audiobooks as well, which you can listen on the go, and various technology wise ebooks are available. And at the last, this is our alumni. These people who are subscribing to our courses and this platform, they are all listed here. And at the end, I wanted to tell you, if you find any course or training or certification preparation material which you want to get us prepare for yourself, please put on the comment section. If you're watching on YouTube, on Udemy, or on this platform itself, quicktechie.com, then please put the comment, or you can even send an email to using this contact us options here. You can directly do the WhatsApp message. You can call us on this numbers as well.